Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Easton Cook and I've driven for Uber a few times here and there. And recently I decided to try out that Uber Hertz program. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Uber and Hertz partnered up to allow a car to be rented for the purpose of Ubering. And I wanted to know a few things about this. Was the process as easy as it seemed? Was the car as covered and manageable as Uber made it out to be? And was it profitable? And in this video, I'll break down my experience and answer those three questions. But before I do, y'all make sure and subscribe, become part of this community. I normally talk about flight attendant related topics, but from time to time, I like to change it up. So in this video, let's talk about renting a car from Hertz for Uber. Also, an important note, as I talk about numbers in this video, they will reflect Atlanta. Your experience may be different as far as price and profit depending on where you're located. But at least this video will answer questions and also give you some type of direction if you're considering this program. Now, the Hertz that I went to was a standalone Hertz shop that was exclusively for Hertz and Uber. I thought this was actually pretty cool because I thought I was gonna go to any old Hertz shop and rent a car from there. But that's not how it worked. And as far as renting the car, you rent it through the Uber driver app. The entire reservation process is just a few taps on your phone and the car's yours. And as far as the ease of setup goes, extremely easy. Matter of fact, Uber even offered to pay for my Uber from my house to the Hertz Uber shop, which they may do all the time. It seemed like they do, or maybe I was just special, I don't know. So I get in the Uber, I go to the Hertz Uber shop, and when I show up at my reservation time because you reserve it for a time slot. You're like Tuesday, 10 a.m. And so I get there at my reserve time and I had to wait an hour. This was a bit of a negative for me. However, I'm chalking it up to probably not the experience every day. I hope it's not. Maybe it was just one of those off days where it was just a lot going on. But I had a reserved time slot at 10 a.m. and I didn't actually get to the counter until about 11 a.m. or so. Because you scan this QR code, at least in Atlanta, it may be different in different places, but you scan this QR code and it puts you in line and then they just call your name. So you're kind of sitting down just waiting. And I had reserved a Tesla Model 3 for $334 a week. This of course was the base price, so that didn't include taxes and fees and all the other stuff that shows up on the final bill. And the deal was that through Uber, the vehicle was insured. So when I got up there, they did ask, do you want to purchase insurance? And I was like, nah, I'm good, Uber's got me. And the employee there didn't seem to actually understand that. They're like, no, if something happens, you're responsible for it. And I was like, I don't think so. And it was kind of this misunderstanding. And I look back in the Uber app and it does say insurance included. So if you're curious about that, by all means, take a look. Because what happened with us is we just kind of moved on from it. Anyway, I paid, I signed some paperwork digitally, and the car was mine. It was that simple. And like I said, the bill was not $334 after all the taxes and fees and all that stuff. It was more like $380 out the door. And I had the car for a few weeks. As a matter of fact, before I answer those three questions, here is a picture of my my most recent bill. As you can see, not $334. There is an item line in this that says Tesla rebill, and I'm thinking that's the supercharger fee. I think because when you supercharge, it charges Hertz, which then of course charges your car that you put on file. If you know, please let me know in the comments below because I'm still researching this, trying to figure this one out. Now let's answer those three questions. Was the process easy? Yeah, extremely. It was extremely easy. I got in, of course, that hour delay, whatever. But once I got up there, I paid and they brought the car up. I got in the car, I drove away. And there's automatically an auto renewal. So I got my car on Tuesday, and that means that, you know, I paid the $380 out the door. I had the car until all the way next Tuesday. And if I didn't do anything, then it would just auto charge my card and we'd keep going. It'd be an endless cycle like this. Or you can bring your car in before that day, or, you know, before like noon that day or something, there's a time, give it back, and then it ends, you're good to go, you're done. Really simple process. There is a big difference between actually just renting a car, right, versus a specific rental car for Uber. They expect you to clean the car. You have to bring it back as clean as when you received it. That was a little different for me because I was like, whoa, you know, normally when you rent a car, you rent it and you bring it back and there may be a little bit of garbage in it, whatever. It's not like you're trashing it, but like there's a little bit of garbage. And they expect you to like vacuum the carpets and everything. That was one of the questions. Like, did you vacuum the carpets? I was like, no. And they're like, there might be a cleaning fee. I was like, never mind. And so I took the car back to, you know, I'm not getting charged a cleaning fee for vacuuming carpets. So I did it on my own. But I digress. Overall, extremely easy process. You do it all through the Uber driver app. You show up to the Hertz store, you get your car. It's really quite simple. Number two, was the car actually covered and as manageable as Uber made it seem? Kinda. I mean, the car is yours because of that auto renewal factor. If you could keep it for as long as you want, as far as I understood. So if you wanted to drive it to like the grocery store and back, It's unlimited miles, it's all included. As long as you did 30 trips a week, that's the agreement with Uber, then you're golden. It's just my Tesla sat in the backyard until I needed to use it, and when I needed to use it, I used it. It was that simple. So it's your car for the time being. Of course, read the fine print. Maybe I'm missing something, and if I am, please leave a comment below. Let me know. I'm always happy to learn. And as far as covered goes, like the car being insured and covered and all that, I got to experience this firsthand because on the rental Tesla I had, one of the headlights just went out randomly. Now, Hertz has a list of mechanics that Hertz will pay for via barcode that you get from the shop or you print it off online, which is pretty neat. So I went to Hertz, I got the barcode, and they're like, here's a list of mechanics, take it, any one of these, and just show them the barcode, they scan it, you're good to go. No money out of your pocket. It's like, great. So I went to 3 mechanics on that list, and each one was like, oh, Tesla, no, we can't fix that headlight, sorry. I was okay, next shop, same thing, same answer. 3 times. It took an hour of my time. Finally, I took it right back to Hertz, and I was like, hey, I can't go to any more mechanics. I'm getting a no everywhere. And I talked to a new employee, and she was like, oh, yeah, we shouldn't have sent you out because they're not going to fix the Tesla headlight. We just have to give you a new car. I was like, okay, cool, appreciate that. So all that happened was I opened a new contract and got a new car. Now, a little word of caution, I could be mistaken on this, but get ready for this, and I hope I'm wrong. It just so happened to be on my automatic renewal day, right? So I got the car on a Tuesday, I brought it back on a Tuesday because that's when the headlight went out, and the employee said, oh, okay, I'm glad you brought it on this day and not like a couple days earlier, that would have sucked. I was like, wait, what do you mean? And she was like, well, if you brought it back, let's say, you got it on Tuesday, if you brought it back on Friday, then you would have paid that $334, $380, right, out the door, $380 for the week no matter what, and you start a new contract when you get this new car, so you would have owed $380 on Friday. So you paid $380 on Tuesday, you would have owed $380 on Friday as well, and there's no overlap. I was like, what? So she's like, yeah, it's a good thing you brought it back today because this is the auto renewal, so you're not missing out on any money. But let me tell you, I genuinely hope I just totally misunderstood that whole situation because it's awful. But to answer the question, as far as covered and manageable, I would say yes. It was a minor inconvenience to have to go to all those garages, but like in the grand scheme of things, I did get a new car, I drove right off the lot, all was well. Lastly, was the Hertz rental very profitable? My simple answer is this: if you're driving full time, yeah, it's decent. If you're driving part-time, not so much. And the benefits of renting a car as opposed to using your own car are obvious, but the price is what's super unattractive. So the Tesla I got, the bill was easily $380 to $400 a week. Now I was driving my required 30 trips a week and then some. I averaged about $24 an hour, and I could get maybe 2 to 4 trips within an hour. Of course, that varies, right? It depends on how far the pickup location is and also how far the destination is. And in Atlanta, I looked this up, I was online for 26 hours one week. I made $653 that week. I would drive roughly 5 hours a day, a little over 5 days that week. Now I made $653 and the car of course is $400, so I profited $253. And that's me as a part-time driver. So a full-time driver, let's just double the numbers and get a basic idea real quick. If I said 26 hours, I got $653. Then let's just make it simple. 40 hours, $1,200, and that's on the low end, right? So you'd obviously be making more, but for purposes of this video, let's say $1,200. You pay for the car, $400 a week, okay? So $1,200 minus $400, that's $800. All right, so $800 a week is what you're profiting. 800 times 4, $3,200 a month. That's what you're looking at. So after you paid your car and everything, you're looking at $3,200 a month. That doesn't include taxes, which you have to pay for yourself, and you may get more or less depending on maybe a big tip, small tip, no tip, something like that. And like I said, these are not exact numbers. This is just to be kind of a compass to give you direction if you're considering maybe doing this. And remember, you don't have to rent a Tesla. I personally love Teslas, and you make an extra $1 on every Uber trip you do based on a EV driver incentive. So if the trip's worth $13, then you automatically get $14. That's kind of cool. But I looked at other car prices as well to give you an idea, and normal cars, just like the average everyday car, it's about $260 a week baseline, meaning it's not including taxes and fees. I believe that the Uber Hertz rental program is best suited for full-time drivers. Part-time, in my experience, just time to money, it's just not worth it. And that's all for today, y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure and subscribe. Also give the video an old like. I do appreciate that. And hey, leave a comment below if you've got a different experience or maybe some advice, or just in general, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on the socials and also shop my Amazon storefront, all in the link in the description below. I will talk to y'all next time. God be with you.